Hi, welcome to Art Draw. Today I'm going to draw the Wookie Team Leader. This is like a Wookie Cuddle Team Leader from Fortnite, from the new Star Wars Galactic Battle chapter and season. So let's go up to the top here. I'm going to draw like an upper body torso shot. So I'm going to draw the head first of all. It's like a Chewbacca style Wookie head. So let's put a little dot there first of all, in the center there. What I'm going to do is come out from that. We're going to draw kind of like the fur, I guess, coming out. So I'm just going to waggle the pen up and down a bit. There's a few little bits that kind of kick out. So just a few little bits like that. There's another little bit kicks out there. Just let the pen kind of cascade down here, out this way. Sort of get down to the bottom area there, kind of kicks out a bit more like that. Just do like the beard a little bit in a second, but let's go back up to the top. This like bit of the hair is kind of like flicked back. So I'm just gonna do a nice little smooth little bit there, and then it kind of goes into kicking out just as it goes down. I guess the fur's a bit longer, isn't it? Goes around there, so we've got this nice sort of hair coming around here. What I might do now is just pop the eyes in. So there's two big circular eyes going on. So I've got one, go down to the middle back here, come across, got one cool circle about here. And then if we go across this way to about here, pop another circle in, like that, okay? Now, the eyes are kind of almost like coming inwards this way. So I'm gonna draw one eye in there, and one eye in here. So just pop the pupils in. Let's just colour them in. I'm gonna leave a little chip of light just on the edge there, just show the light hitting the pupil. Cool, and now I've got that, I'm gonna pop the little nose in. So in the middle here, come down a little bit, I'm gonna draw a nice sort of chewy little button nose like that, and I might just colour most of it in, leave a little chip of light. And now I've got that in. It's like a kind of like a cutesy chewy, isn't it? On the right hand side here, I'm just gonna draw like the snout. So I'm gonna bring my pen around down here. And on this side, I'm gonna come down out this way here. So sort of curve it out from that nose. Then I'm gonna come down in the middle and then curve it in and down, just match it up. And on this side, I'm gonna come down this way, curve it around and meet up there. So it's all like a big moustache sort of snout there. Now the mouth comes around underneath, kind of arcs around it from these corner points. I'm just gonna draw a nice little curve like that around. And then underneath it, it's almost like the little lip area, like that. So just got to sort of pop another one in there. And then we've got these teeth. So we've got these sort of chewy teeth. So we've got a little point there, and coming down this way, little point there. And then we can go and do a nice little curve like that, just for the teeth. On the other side of that, just colour that in like that. And then this mouth bit is a little bit darker. We've got a little tongue in there as well, so I'm just gonna draw a little chip of a tongue in that area too, okay? Now there's a scar on the head just here, so it comes up this way. So I'm gonna just sort of draw a nice sort of jagged scar coming up and around sort of from the eye point. And then what I'm gonna do is just gonna cap it off and finish it with the little beardy bit in the middle. So this central point here, it's kind of just gonna bring my pen down and up. So there's some wider little points. This sort of like where the fur's going down, I suppose. Okay, now I've got those in. What I'm gonna do is just sort of bring in a few little lines, like fur lines, I suppose, sort of swinging around. Gives it a nice look and feel. There's some like little jagged bits going up here, maybe just up this way as well. But the rest of it really, we can just swoop it coming out, so it gives it that really nice look of the fur sort of coming out from the face, and you can almost give it like a little like eyebrow area. This little sort of hair sweeping back at the back up here, up this way, and then down here as well, coming around there. Kind of a bit of a snout in the middle there. So I'm just gonna sort of draw a few little bits here, and then just on the edge there. There we go. Got some cool little bits going on there, okay? Right, now I've got that bit in, I'm gonna draw the neck. So underneath here, the team lead has got this cool mask on. I'm just gonna draw a nice line down there and one probably about here. And then we've got this curve that goes around that. It just sort of joins it up. Just thicken it up a little bit like that. And then what we can do is look at the shoulders. So the belt actually on the shoulder pops over this way and down. So first of all, let's do the one on this side. We've sort of got the top of the shoulder, then the main shoulder popping out this way. This like comes around and like comes downwards with the fur kind of effect again where the arm is. Now over this way we've got a little bit of the fur coming this way, then we've got this belt coming down. So what I'm going to do is pop a little sort of angled rectangle in there. Let's pop another one around here. Just keep coming down. Got another one about here. One coming along here. And here as well, like that. And then what we can do is just sort of make these a little bit more three-dimensional by putting lines down the corners of them all. Like that. And then I'm just gonna just block these in. So we'll just give them a base. So just got these nice little blocked in elements now on the belt. Just here there's a little sort of bit that comes up where the strap comes in, little circle. And then what I can do around this is just draw a nice line underneath it like that. And then continue this line down here to about this point. Let it kind of taper at the end there, and then we'll just go back up, widen it up as we go along this way into the side there. Now along here I can just draw another couple little lines just to make it look a bit of edging on this material like this. And then that lets me draw the next part here, which is the shoulder part. So again, we're going back to the fur, just pops up around here, and then we just pop these little fur little bits sort of coming out around it there. It's got these cool little shoulders here. This one's like furred up as well, so you can just draw a couple of these little sort of furry bits in, little sort of V's almost around there. Gives a good expression of that. Now the underarm here, there's a little bit of this sort of strap part that comes down, so I'm going to draw a nice little line down here, and probably from about that point, a line down like that. It just goes under the arm. Then we can just draw another little point there, and what we can do again is just draw a little bit of edging around that. Then we've got this little bit here, so I'm just going to go to the underarm here. I'm going to bring my pen down probably back to this point here. This is the inner part of the underarm and the bicep. And then the outer part sort of comes out from here to an elbow around about there. Now I've got this in, I'm just going to draw the fur part. So the arm comes down this way, it's on the sort of torso here, the hand goes to the torso. So I'm just going to waggle my pen out and around like this. Kind of tapers out at the end here. Got this nice sort of fur looking kind of stuff going on here. What I can do now is sort of draw the torso so then I can match up where this hand is. So the shoulder part comes down here, a couple of little sort of hints of this fur, and then it kind of comes inwards to about here. And the hand part will be there, and then it sort of goes back down this way, and we'll just sort of taper it off here like that. The hand goes across this way. So first of all, it's basically like a glove that comes from this point here. So I'm going to draw a line there and a line there. Let's just cap that off. Then I'm going to go inwards and inwards here to the wrist, and then I'm going to come out a bit where the top of the hand is, and then just draw a little bit underneath, and that's like the knuckle. The hand is along this part here, and then it probably comes up to about here and then comes out and then just joins back up here. There's a little bit of a gap for a little bit of the design of the glove, and these are fingerless gloves, so just gonna pop a little line there. Little hint in there of the knuckles, and as you see, this comes around here, looks pretty cool like that, right? Okay, let's just draw the upper body and torso here. So the upper body comes down sort of this way here into this belt area. Then this sort of comes along here, and the top of the torso, sort of the legs around here. The inner part of the legs there. So I'm just gonna do a few little cool little loose sort of spiky bits around there. Maybe a few little, just a little bit of hatching around there. That's cool. Got that nice sort of tapering off now as we're coming down to this point. Okay, now this part sort of goes to the Wookie satchel on the edge here, so it's kind of attached, a little bit of a keychain there. This goes back this way here. I'm just going to draw a little sort of rectangular element where the sort of the satchel is around here. Again, we can probably pop in a few little lines around there, and then we can just draw a hint of that satchel in, sort of going down this way here. Cool, okay. Next thing we've got to do is just draw the arm going up in the gun. So where we've got this little bit here, it kind of sort of just tapers out here, sort of the edge of the fur part of the uniform. Just maybe just draw it down a little bit more there, so it kind of comes up there. Then we're gonna just draw the little glove element as we're going up this way here, and just gonna leave a little gap, and then just continue up here where we've got the hands. So I've got little finger about there, go up, draw next finger there. Got a thumb element that kind of comes across here. Another little finger there, and then the trigger finger is probably up around this way. The little trigger point is there. And then this palm of the hand comes down to the wrist. And I'll come down to about this point. Now I've got that in, I can start looking at the gun. It'll all join up in a minute. So a line comes down this way here, comes across here, and it goes up, sort of bends in a little bit to there. We then can draw down this way here and in, across there, and up like that. So we've got this nice sort of element at the gun point. A few little dinks in there where we've got a bit of a grip. And in here, we sort of just pop a couple of circles in. And actually here, there's almost like a little keychain as well. So I'm just going to draw a couple of little bits. Nice little circular point there. Then let's have a look at this sort of Wookie gun, okay? So the sight is up this way, so I'm just going to draw a line up here, a little diagonal point. We could just colour that in there, a little chip of the sort of like where it positions. Then we come out here this way, come along, sort of draw a little circle, just make it nice and loose. You don't have to be too precise because we've got the head, so we can see all the other cool little elements of it. This is like the top area, and then underneath it we've got the main sort of part of the weapon. So block it out there, underneath the trigger finger here, sort of come in and up and around. A few little circles and little gizmos going on there, probably around this way too. And then what I'll do is I'm going to come up this way here, so just bring your pen up and down there, and bring it up, down again there. And then from his point I'm going to just draw a nice line out here, curve out here, and it's got these weird little ball bits on, right? So draw a circle there, a couple of little lines on that, and this then goes down this way here, 1, 2, and nice little ball on that. Again, we can just draw these cool little bits in around and about the place. Then we just go up a bit more, so we're going to go up from here to the end point, which kind of goes up to here, maybe a little rectangle on the end. Bring it down again there. Maybe we just need to colour that bit in, make it easy. There's a few little sort of sighting bits on it. Just going to draw a couple of lines in there, and then the top sort of comes up this way, and just draw like a little rectangle in here, and again there's a little bit that sort of kicks off from there. And from these bits, maybe we can just colour in a couple of bits. So this is quite a dark area here, so I'm just going to scoot in and just draw or colour in a few little points around this area here. These are fingerless gloves, so sort of draw around those. And then I think all I really need to do is just a little bit more of the sort of the fur. I've got this quite nice sort of angular bit of the weapon in here, but I think the fur part is more fun. I can draw some more of these little sort of curved little points going around. So we'll get a bit smaller as we go around to these, just little ones in there. all around these sort of points, things like that. And where we've got little lines here, we can just draw a few more there. This sort of pops up this way. Maybe there's a couple in the neck area just around here. Maybe just a couple on the underarm there. And maybe there's just a few little ones sort of kicking out from this belt point. Then we can just draw a few little more bits in there like that. I think that's pretty cool. There's the Wookie Team Leader from Fortnite and Star Wars. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who I can draw next, and we'll see you again soon. All right, bye for now.